So we're going to talk about another method of how to construct isometrics, and that's called the box method. So what I'm going to do right now is lay out a box based off these dimensions that we used in the previous video. So we're going to make the box 7 boxes long, 5 boxes tall, and 5 boxes wide. So I'm going to pick a spot on my paper where I know that I can get the right size, height, and depth. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to count over 7 boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to draw that line. Now, what I don't want to do is I don't want these lines to be heavy, and so when creating these lines have a name type, and these are going to be called construction lines. These construction lines in this box method are only used to create the drawing itself. Once I create the drawing, these lines will be darker, and will be called object lines as I go through the construction. So the box method requires the lines of the box be construction lines, which are light lines. And then we're going to fill that in with the object lines of the part. So here I go 7 boxes. So I just lightly draw this line. That's 7. I go up 5. I go over 5. And then from here I come out 7. So that box represents the uh, length, the width, and the height. And I'm going to take the same approach as I did in the last video, and I'm going to lay out surface A. So if you notice, I already have constructed by using the box method. I have this line already, and the baseline, and a portion of this line. So that makes life a lot easier for me. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight those lines and turn them into object lines by making them dark and thick. All right, so now this is surface A. I'm just going to put it, surface A is going to be here. So I come over 2, down 3, and back 5. Now I have surface A again. So basically now I'm just reproducing everything from the last video. I'm going to start and get my what we call my top view. So I'm looking at surface G, this point and this point. So both of those go over 1 box. And then I close that. I'm at this point, which is this point. I'm going to go down 1 box. And then I'm going to go over 3, up 1, over 1. That takes me to the edge of the box. I know that's as far as I can go. And I'm going to darken this portion of the box. Take that line away. Take this line. I guess now I have a surface I. Come down 1 box here. Over back to here. And now I have surface H. I'm at this point on the object. I'm at this point here. I'm going to come down 3. This point. We'll take this point to the end of the box. I'm going to come in 2 boxes, down one. So now I have this line is helping me get the rest of this space. So I just darken it up, make it solid, and I'll put a letter D right here. I want to go back to this point. This point goes up or in 3 boxes. Which you put it here, over 1 box, back 3. It's going to be a line, right? I'll wait on that. And then there's a line that I missed. Didn't miss it, but just overlooked it. So now that's going to help me get surface F. And then all of this is going to be surface B. That's what these arrows mean. This is all surface B. Surface C. And then we have this line and this line for E. Now if you notice, you see how the box that I drew real lightly fades into the background, and the object lines of the part, because I made them darker, uh, made it appear closer. So one thought process is that the lighter something is, the further away it is. The darker something is, the closer it is. So now, the darker this object became, the more details that you've seen, which overpowered the lightness of the construction lines of the box. So this is how you use the box method to create isometric shapes. Um, Another way I can use that box method is when I have something other than just a shape like this, where everything seems to be quite symmetrical, which makes it easy. Let's look at something like this particular pencil here. See if we can use the box method to create something that represents a pencil, or looks like a pencil. So I'm going to pick just a space over here, and I'm going to create another box lightly. These are going to be construction lines. So I know that the pencil, we know that the pencil itself is rounded, but I'm going to use this rectangular prism here to construct the pencil. So I'm looking at, which is not a lot of eraser on here, but the eraser end has the eraser and the metal tip. I mean the metal casing that holds the eraser to the pencil. So I'm going to give the eraser about that size there. And then I'll give the metal tip, I'll cut it off right about here. And then if you look at the tip of the pencils, it's a lead. So I'm going to move this over just a little bit. So I want all these points here. I went a little too far there. I want I want all these points here to converge at some point. And where do I want that point to be? I'm gonna say right here. So I'm gonna take and just taper all these points to that point. Taper all the end of these lines to that point. I'm sorry. And then I know that the lead's gonna be dark, so I'm just gonna kind of represent the lead. I know that this is rounded, so I'm just gonna come in here and round this. I know that the eraser head is typically rounded, so I'm gonna give that, just sketch that in there. So is the metal tip, it's rounded as well. And then I would take some color markers and crayons, markers, color pencils, and I would make this yellow, I'd make this pink, probably make this gray. So there's another way of using the box method to create various objects.